I want to speak to you today about why I believe more veterans are needed in the media. And in order to do that, I need to go back about 10 years to explain to you why I'm up here today. It's 2005. I'm a U.S. Marine. I'm at a place called Jalalabad airfield. It's in eastern Afghanistan. At the time, it's a very Spartan place. It's just a dusty strip of runway. It's protected by concertina wire, sandbags, plenty of U.S. Marines on the perimeter. We slept in tents. We had no AC, no electricity. But all in all, it was a pretty boring place. That wasn't the case in mid-May. In mid-May, we were gearing up to be attacked. We were checking our ammo. We were getting our flak jackets on. And we were told to set up 81 millimeter mortars to protect our position in case our gate was overrun. Outside our gate, there were thousands of angry Afghans protesting and rioting. They were burning tires. They were shouting death to America. Why? It's because of this. May 8, 2005, Newsweek published a story which said that guards at Guantanamo Bay had placed a Quran on the toilet. It sparked off widespread protests throughout the world, including the ones I saw in Afghanistan. On May 23rd, this report was retracted. But that was only after at least 15 people were killed in those riots. We never left our base that day. The battalion deemed the situation too fragile, and ultimately, we were not attacked. But later on that night, I pulled out my laptop, I was checking the news, and I found a report which said that it quoted an Afghan police official who said that U.S. Marines had fired into a crowd and killed 3 civilians. This wasn't true, and I knew it wasn't true. But I learned an important lesson about journalism that day. Good journalism takes great care, determination, and ultimately a dedication to reporting the truth. Bad journalism can have very serious consequences. Now fast forward to 2010. I'm out of the Marine Corps now. I'm graduated from college, and I wanted to get into journalism. And so I had the opportunity to apply for an internship at Business Insider in New York. It was a risk. It was a place I didn't really know New York, and it offered very little pay, no benefits, and there was no guarantee of a job at the end of the day. But I thought it was worth the risk, and so I went. I went to New York, and I didn't have a whole lot of experience in the journalism field. I didn't really know AP style. I didn't know all the journalism terms that I know today, but I did a lot of Googling, and I learned on the job. I didn't know how to interview a source, so I listened to other reporters and how they spoke on the phone. I learned on the job very quickly. I had that intangible benefit of military service, a dedication to mission accomplishment. The military teaches you to get the job done no matter what. Just as in the newsroom, journalists get the story no matter what. There are other parallels between military service and the media world that I observed. There's an editorial rank structure, just as in the military rank structure. Sometimes you have to operate independently. And when the situation changes, you need to adapt very quickly. I saw these parallels firsthand during the Boston bombing. On that tragic day, I was in New York, and probably like many of you, I saw what happened on a TV screen. I looked up and I was shocked. I thought, my God, is this actually happening? But then about a half second later, you could see everyone in the newsroom getting down in front of their desks, getting on the phones, and they were doing their job as reporters. It's a very similar situation to how soldiers react to combat for the first time. A soldier might get shot at and they think, is he shooting at me right now? But then a half second later, the training kicks in, they turn towards the threat, and they do their jobs. In combat, soldiers learn to detach from their emotions and ultimately protect their fellow soldiers. In journalism, reporters learn to detach from their emotions and report what they see. Now, I did pretty well at BI. I had a great team there. My editor was an Army veteran, and I was one of 2 Marines on staff reporting military and defense issues. We had pretty good credibility in the field because of our combined military experience, and we were able to develop sources within the military based a lot of the time on the fact that we were veterans, talking to fellow veterans. But there are others in the media landscape who have made their mark. The people like Ben Bradlee. Ben Bradlee was a former executive editor at the Washington Post. He oversaw one of the most important stories of the 20th century, the Watergate scandal. And he transformed the Post into one of the most successful news organizations that still holds true today. But before that, he was an officer in the Navy during World War II. And he cited his combat experience as being crucial to his later life in the journalism field. More recently, there are people like C.J. Chivers at the New York Times. Chivers, who's a former Marine officer, along with 2 other veterans on a team, uncovered the story of veterans in Iraq during the Iraq War being exposed to and wounded by chemical weapons and being subsequently denied medical care. Their reporting helped these troops get the recognition, the Purple Hearts, and ultimately the medical care they had been denied for so long. So what do I want you to take away from this? Well, I want to leave you with 2 things. One, if you're a veteran and you want to be in the media, I encourage you to go after it. You have the drive, you have the work ethic, and you have the determination to do it, but no one's going to hand it to you. You have to start at the bottom and work yourself up. Just as in the military, to make the next rank, you need to work hard. And if you're in the media, I hope you'll understand that veterans are valuable in the media landscape. And I asked my former boss at Business Insider what he thought of veterans in the media, and he told me this. He said, not surprisingly, veterans were consistently among the hardest working and most dedicated journalists in the newsroom. He's very kind in his assessment, but I believe he's right. Military experience is a valuable asset that would improve any newsroom. That's why I'm a journalist and the founder of Duffel Media. My name is Paul Szoldra, and I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. Thank you.